Okay, you guys, so we've got some more question and answers to go over here from the TFW and Hasbro interview that went on during SDCC a couple weeks ago, going more in depth into some questions that I covered in my first video that I didn't have enough time to kind of speculate on, theorize, and properly discuss with you guys in a video. So this first question here, they're not even a question. These are actually, I actually misspoke. These are bullet points from a later half of the interview that were kind of just random discussion points that basically Nate and Evan brought up. So I'm going to go through these and give you guys my thoughts on everything as always. So this first bullet point here is, Nate asked for thoughts on an 86 Unicron. It would be a new mold, and he was asking feedback for what size class. This is crazy, guys. I know some people are kind of in denial that we could be getting an 86 Unicron, but they're actively looking into it, it seems like. They know fans want this. So I would say this comes out for maybe the 45th anniversary of the 86 movie. So in the next 5-6 years, I would say, since they're already looking into it and thinking about putting it into development, and they also want time to let the HasLab figure marinate and let people who backed that release a few years ago still feel special, because by the time you get to the 45th anniversary, it would be about 10 years since that HasLab Unicron came out. So that's more than enough time to get a proper redo in the mainline Hasbro Studio Series banner. So I'm thinking this figure's coming out around 2030, but I could be wrong. I'm just speculating here. And the size class, I don't know, it kind of seems obvious to me. I really do feel like they should go to a Titan class, like an actual large Titan class, the size of Metroplex from 2013, or maybe even bigger, since they're able to do different prices for Titan class nowadays. They could do a $250, $300 Titan class for Unicron to make him a bit bigger than your typical $200 Titan that you get nowadays. I think that would be the most ideal. Either dropping something at the $200 Titan class price point, so you get that at least the regular Titan class size that you've been seeing since basically around 2013 with these figures, or to make him a little bit bigger, you could go over that $200 price point, which seems to be something that they're a bit more open to with changing the price point with Titan class every year. It seems like they're going to be doing from now on. So we're just going to have to wait and see, but a lot to kind of unpack here on what they're going to do with a future 86 Unicron. I'm just happy we're getting one in the main line again, because I thought that HasLab was it for Unicron, but it seems like it's not. And then another bullet point here is, Mark said they want to try prototype color figures in reference to the red Thundercracker on display. So they're talking about the Thundercracker mold that was in the display cases at San Diego Comic-Con a couple weeks ago that TFW and other places snapped images of. So that's pretty cool. I do agree with Mark. They should sell prototype figures, because the customization market with these figures has only grown over the last 15 years. It has gotten so big. Like, why wouldn't Hasbro want to capitalize off of all these customizers on social media, YouTube, whatever, who make content, who make commissions and make money off of doing customizations? Why wouldn't they want a piece of that pie too? It seems kind of inevitable, in my opinion, that they would probably sell prototype figures on, say, the Hasbro Pulse website, sell some quantities of that. It's something that I could definitely see Hasbro doing, especially since they're moving into more of a collector-based market. They're scaling back on certain things. They're becoming more of a licensing company. That seems like something they would be more in line with doing, again, especially since this customization market is so huge now. And another bullet point here is, if they ever do Clipper, Evan would prefer to make her a new mold, though she isn't necessarily in the works right now. Honestly, guys, before I read this answer a few weeks ago, or this topic here, I had no idea who Clipper was. I'm just being real. I looked up her design and everything. I mean, she looks cool, but she's like that typical sort of slender, curvy G1 fembot sort of thing going on. She's kind of similar to RC, if you will, but, you know, different. It obviously is a different design. Me personally, would I care about seeing a Clipper in the regular Modern Generations line? Not really. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't even really know much about this character. The design is so-so to me. It's kind of your typical G1 fembot. The car mode looks cool. It kind of reminds me of that Alternator's RC in a way. So, I don't know. It would be kind of cool to see how they would handle a Clipper in the modern era for Generations. But I definitely see how this wouldn't be in the works at all for a while, because it's really not a character a lot of people care about, and there's so many other bots on the docket for Hasbro to make right now that it just seems like Clipper would be a character that you would get to like 10 years from now, after you've done like a lot of the heavy hitters from G1, Animated, Prime, Unicron trilogy, stuff like that. So I could see them getting to her at some point down the line, maybe as like an exclusive, or probably in the main line as a deluxe. I wouldn't mind seeing that either, but definitely not anytime soon. So I'm really not surprised that they're not considering her in the works right now. But I'm sure we'll see her at some point. And for the 5 fans who want her, you'll be satisfied in about 10-15 years probably. Once you're 40, once you're well, not 40, like 60, 70 years old, but we'll wait and see. It could be sooner. You never know with Hasbro. They do a lot of random releases every year, more and more now, the last like 4 or 5 years, I'd say. So we could get Clipper within the next few years. You honestly don't know. Hasbro is super unpredictable right now with Generations. Everything is on the table, like what they've been saying the last couple of years. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And another bullet point here is OMNIBOTS. Evan said they're aware it's something fans want. They're pushing for it. Evan wants to make it a Pulse exclusive. This is interesting. I would love to see OMNIBOTS done by Hasbro in the Generations line. But would I like this to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive? I'm going to be real with you guys. Hell to the no. As somebody who is a camshaft enjoyer, a downshift enjoyer especially, and I do be digging some overdrive here and there, I would not want these locked behind an exclusive, especially if these are an all-new mold, which it seems like they would have to be, or maybe an extensive retool of some of the previous Carbot molds that we've gotten in Deluxe class over the few years, like, I don't know, maybe Wheeljack or Sideswipe. They've got a couple they could pick from, but I would prefer them to be a new mold, considering, let me look back at the old figures. Well, I think, was Camshaft, or not Camshaft, was Downshift based off of the Wheeljack mold? I think he was, but, you know, I think they would want them to be new molds, but they are kind of obscure enough in a way where I could see them being just retools or repaints of Deluxe class molds that Hasbro already has. Either way, I think they should release them, if they're doing it as a 3-pack or an exclusive or some way, do it as Generation Selects. I don't think locking these behind a Pulse exclusive is a good idea, especially since so many people want OMNIBOTS updated from Hasbro. So, I don't know, we're just going to have to wait and see. It seems like this is something they've been thinking about doing with the OMNIBOTS for a while, so I'd say maybe we get these OMNIBOTS in a couple years' time, considering they already have this idea that they're openly talking about with TFW, but I don't know, we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm just speculating here. But yeah, guys, those are all the bullet points I wanted to cover for this video. Stay tuned for some more videos on this interview dropping later on the channel. Let me know down in the comments below, how do y'all feel about the 86 Unicron discussion here? When do you think it's coming out? Do you think Hasbro should sell prototype figures? And when do you guys think we would get a Clipper and OMNIBOTS? And do you think the OMNIBOTS should be Pulse exclusives? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!